Ghost Adventures has just been called out for some fake paranormal activity. An absolute shocker, I know. And me, you know, it's not the most reputable source, but I was just scrolling through TikTok and this popped up on my feed. I gave it a little watch, and if I'm honest, it's absolutely undeniable. So I can't take the credit for this one. It does come from a TikTok account that goes by the name Twisted Skeen. Alright. You know, this one is a very, very interesting watch. Take a look at this. Honestly, if you're a Ghost Adventures fan, this might make you question a lot of things.
Hey guys, I've been watching the Ghost Adventures, and I'm on season 23, episode 12. And
can we talk about that? Season 23. How many seasons of Ghost Adventures is there now? Like, Zak is making bank off this show.
I like to watch this show because I like to see the interesting places they go to. More the historical places, not necessarily when they go into people's homes. But anyway, somehow they always manage to capture something, some kind of evidence. But you're going to love this because I caught them in a big fat lie. A big fat faking, okay? And it's in black and white, well, color, on the TV. Every single bit of it is right there for you to see. So either a big fat lie and faking stuff, or really bad editing, or it was a fake that someone forgot to edit out better.
I mean, you think that she's like building this up and it's going to be nothing. Honestly, when you see it, you're not going to be able to unsee it. And then it's going to make you question other things that have happened within the show. Because, you know, it's, well, let's just get into it.
I don't know. I'm gonna let you judge for yourself, but I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna see. So Zak is entering into a playroom with a bunch of toys, and he picks up a red truck off the floor and he places it on top of one of those little like playhouses. And the important part about where he places it is he places it on a curve part of the playhouse. That's important, okay? So he says, let me see if you can move this truck, or something to that effect. Now, nothing happens, but he steps away and he goes down on his knees, and there's a little toy play tent. He sticks his head in the tent and he narrates it and says something to the effect of, little did we know that what was about to happen. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Sticks his head in the tent, comes back out of the tent, and he stands up. Now, when he stands up, you can see the top of that playhouse. You can see the curved part, a straight part, and another curved part. Okay? You can see the...
It sounds very confusing the way that she's describing it, but basically it's like a playpen, all right, with four sides. Two sides are straight, the other two sides, like, let's imagine these sides are straight, and then, like, the parts that connect those two, they've got, like, arches, as if, like, a kid could, like, like gates almost. And that's kind of what she's trying to describe. I had a hard time understanding what she meant, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh.
Whole thing, clearly. And there is no red truck on the curved part. It's gone. Now, if you look closely in the corner where the car was placed, you'll see Aaron standing there. He's wearing black, and it's super quick. So I'm going to have to point it out to you. It's super fast. I'm going to play it once and let you look at it. Then I'm going to pause it and narrate and play it out slowly. But you can see him standing there, and he's got his hand down beside him like this. And there's something red in his hand.
I mean, when I saw this, right, I was like, Ghost Adventures surely didn't make that big of a blunder. Like, they have got such a huge production. They've obviously got the crew. They've then got the cast in there as well. They've got, that's just in the room at the time. They've then got a whole editing team that will go through it. They'll have producers that will rewatch the episodes, along with Zak, who I think is a producer on Ghost Adventures as well. One of the head producers. He would have rewatched this episode, and they would have, like, rewatched all of it. And they would have probably had people trying to identify any discrepancies, any, that didn't quite get edited in the way that we hoped it would. Let's make something happen with that. The fact that this one slipped through the net, it's pretty ropey.
Okay, now, there's clearly no red truck on that curve. You can see it plain as day, but Zak backs up, turns his body, And that truck comes flying off that curve right at him. And he said, what was that? And he said, it came flying right at you. It came flying right at you. Well, it came flying right out of Aaron's hand on that curve because it wasn't there. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you see it, and then I'm going to back it up and break it down. All right, here we go.
While exploring the rest of the space, I sense a negative presence in Megan's grandson's toy room, so I decide to do an experiment.
Right. So do you see what she's talking about? So these are the archers that she's on about right here, and this is kind of the playpen kind of thing. And then this is the red truck in question. So Zak's picked it up. You know, he's sensed a negative presence in the kids' room, in the toy room. So he's gone in there, right? Of course, you know, that's what you do when you sense a negative experience or something. Also, another thing I never fully understood, if he's going into a house, why is he wearing this, you know, gas mask? Like, if he came into my house and started wearing a gas mask, I would be hella offended. I'd be like, bro, they don't stink. And like, you know, you're not gonna get poisoned. It's COVID-free, bro. We're not even in COVID times. But yeah, so anyway, besides the point, this is the archers and the doobie flop that's in question, and this is the red truck, and obviously Mr. Bagans right here.
Can you move that truck off of there?
Receiving no response, I explore the rest of the room. I kneel down to look inside a tent, leading to a shocking series of events.
I love it, man. Leading to a shocking series of events. Right, so there's Aaron. There's Zak. That drawstring was a paid actor.
What the hell? What happened?
It went down.
That went down?
It went down right towards you as you were walking by. It like came at you.
Now, straight off the bat, there's multiple reasons as to why that truck could have fallen. It's a truck on four wheels, on an uneven surface, more specifically, a curved surface, right? Like, ultimately, I've seen my toddler, right, play with his toy cars on a ramp, and he has learned the hard way that cars will not stay, you know, still on a ramp because they've got wheels. And he gets so frustrated when the cars won't go where he wants them to go because they're on a sloped surface. Try explaining that one to a toddler. Anyway, I'm sure I can have a better time explaining it to Zak Bagans. I don't know how old he is, but he's old enough to understand how physics works. Anyway, yeah. So we've got the car on an uneven surface. Zak walks past. You know, something as simple as, you know, just pressure on the floor, which has caused a bit of unevenness. The tiniest of tilts is going to send that car going. All right? That's just a fact. That's one explanation. But the explanation that this lady gives as to what actually could have happened, again, this is all hypothetical because we can't we weren't there. We can't definitively say that's fake, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is just highlight just something that I found quite funny. But let's have a look.
Okay, so there's some really creative camera work going on here, you guys. So when he places that red truck, and then he goes around the back, that far corner is where you're going to see Aaron when I pause it. And you'll see a flash really quickly down here. There's something red in his hand. Awfully coincidental. Now, mind you, when it flies off and then Zak looks at it and it's on the ground and he says, what happens? Now, all of a sudden, that back corner, which was very dark, with someone wearing black clothing, which was Aaron, because you can see the goatee and all that, the beard and the mustache. But anyway, all of a sudden, it's very, very lit up, and there's nobody there. Okay, so let me back it up for you, and we'll go scene by scene. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I turned the volume all the way down so you can hear what I'm saying and not what he's saying. But here we go. He's coming in the room. This is where he says he feels something negative. Okay, there he goes, picking up the red truck and placing it on the curved part. Okay, now the first thing that's super important to notice about this is when we get to full frame, I'm going to pause it so you can see this structure. Okay, now, this corner right here is when we turn the shot this way. This is where Aaron's going to be standing, and right in this area here, you're going to see something red in his hand really quickly. But what's interesting is it's very well lit up right here right now. You can clearly see Zach, and he goes this way, okay? And here's what else is important. The shape of this playhouse. There is a curve here, it's flat here, a curve on the other side, and it's flat on the other side, okay? That's real important to note. All right, let's keep going. So he's going over to the tent now. The red truck is still there. Okay, here's another pause for you. The red truck is still there. It's right
we can
there.
see it.
But it's now being sort of blocked by this camera person. But you can clearly see the red truck is still on the curved portion, straight portion, 2 curves. And Zach is going to go over here and duck into the tent, okay? Let's keep going. He goes down, sticks his head in the tent. Clever right here. Okay, now, what's coming into view is that curve, and already you can see there's no truck.
Now, obviously, like she said, this is the reverse. So the truck was on the near side, because this is something that I had to rewatch a couple of times to fully understand. The truck was on the near side when the cameraman was on this side. Now, the truck from the angle of the cameraman now, where the cameraman's followed Zach around, will be on the far side of the structure. All right? So we're now looking. This is now the far side of that structure. There's Aaron. There's the cameraman's obviously the one that's holding the camera. That's, typically what a cameraman does. And then we've got no truck. So there's already a continuity issue. Where's the truck gone?
But it's going to back up, and you'll see both curves. And you'll clearly see there is no truck. Okay, ready?
There. No truck. Obviously, the truck will have to be center. Right slap. Oh, no, that wasn't Aaron. That's Aaron. Sorry. That wasn't Aaron. That's Aaron. The truck should be right here. But it's not. And even if we say, like, hypothetically, we're looking at it from the same angle, it should be here. But it's not. So the truck's gone. There's a continuity issue there.
Okay, now. Oops, hold on a second. Back that up one little bit. Okay. Hold on. I got to be real.
Right, so there's the red truck there. Obviously, this is Zach. He's just put the truck there. He's just asked for it to move.
Quick on the remote here. Because you'll see Aaron standing in that corner I told you about.
There's the truck.
Okay, here he goes around.
There's the curves.
Go back in. I got to be real quick on the remote. See how it's sort of blocked, but you can see the truck. Okay, he's in the tent. He comes out of the tent.
I also find that hilarious. The way that he goes into the tent and then comes out. He just literally pokes his head in and then brings it back out. It's like, what's the point? He didn't even get to look inside the tent. The flaps were still in his face. Weird, man. Weird.
He stands up. Okay, that's Aaron. Do you see him?
I see him.
All black clothing, and that's his beard. Okay, what's this red thing in his hand down here?
Right, looking at it, there's one of 2 possible things. If I just scroll back ever so slightly, there. Now, this is all hypothetical, of course. Now, for argument's sake, we know for a fact that truck's missing. Like, there's no denying that truck is missing. All right, we've seen that. But can we say that Aaron's the one with the truck? No. And here's why. This looks like it could be a red truck. This looks like it could be the wheel arch, and it looks like this could potentially be the wheel. But the way, obviously, the cameras, with the cameramen, they're going to have these, like, industrial lights. They're going to be hella bright because they're in dark places. They need to get good footage. So, this right here, I just pointed on my screen like you can see my fingers. This right here, like I say, could be the truck, but it could also be a torch. Now, the reason I'm saying that, this here looks like it could possibly be a hand, alright? Not a red truck. It could be a hand. And this could be a black torch, and this bit right here, instead of being a wheel, could be the bulbs reflecting the light from the cameraman's light. Am I making sense right now? And the reason I'm saying that is because when it moves, the red doesn't look so red like the truck did. It's not that piercing red. It's more of a... how do I describe it? Flesh. It's more like a flesh colour, alright? I was going to make a fleshlight joke, but not appropriate. Anyway.
This red thing in his hand down here.
The more I look at it, the more I think that could potentially be a bulb, like a light, like a torch. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a torch off. The bulbs, obviously, inside will reflect any light, and also the glass pane over the front.
First of all, no truck.
Yeah.
Clearly. Okay, and this is the second arch. But what's down here in Aaron's hand, standing right at that corner, and this is where the truck was?
Yeah.
Something red, isn't it? All right.
It certainly looks that way.
Clever camera tricks, and now Zach stands up, comes over here, and all of a sudden that truck comes flying out at him. Well, that's really interesting if you ask me, because it wasn't there a second ago.
Yeah, so that's the one thing my theory doesn't account for. Where does the truck go? If it is a torch, hypothetically, there's a continuity issue because there's no truck up there. It's missing. The scene clearly shows that there's no truck on those arches. So where's the truck? I don't actually know. And that makes me think that, yes, that could be the truck in Aaron's hand. But, you know, let's not discount the fact that there's multiple people in that room. We've got crew, we've got cast. You know, it's almost impossible to say who's got the truck, but it does look like Aaron could potentially be holding a truck.
Now, another clever camera trick when he turns this way. Hold on a second. It's almost there. They're doing a replay. And now when he turns around, now isn't this interesting that this corner is now fully lit up again and there's no Aaron standing here?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of funny because the camera was showing when he went in that tent, like the truck like this, right? And then also, because Aaron was there. You saw him. You saw his beard.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Very, very interesting. So, there you have it. I mean, you can clearly see it. So you also could clearly see when it wasn't there. So I'm just going to say, I don't know, they totally faked it and it was a big fat lie, or it was a big fat lie, they were faking it and it was bad editing. Either way, somebody should have been looking at that a little more closely when they put the show out because, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say this is debunked.
There you go. So, what do you guys think? I mean, there's a couple of theories there that I've thrown out. It's either Zach's walked past and there's a potential that his weight would have shifted the floorboards, which could have shifted the structure, which could have then caused that to fall off. Hypothesis number one. Number two, Aaron's got it in his hand and he pushes it and then that causes it to fall. That's number two. Hypothesis number three is that actually Aaron doesn't have a hold of the truck whatsoever. He's just holding the torch, or a torch, but that doesn't then account for the truck being missing in that one frame or that one specific little shot. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Either way, no matter what, how you look at this, there's no denying that this was not paranormal activity, and there is a lot more human-based logic to be filtered into this one. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting talking point. I wanted to bring it to you guys because you guys are very, very good at, you know, identifying these things much better than I am. Let me know what you guys think though down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button if you have not already. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.